In weeks 0 through 4 of basic training was the amount of time that I had to man up for the most part and do the best that I could to do the tasks on time that had to be done and write them down in order to if I, and keep track of the days for the memories, at the same time keeping in contact with family. And any time past that was execution. um Execution, and it was really displaying the training that I had undergone. And so that is a time frame for which I should be able to do anything within 0 to 4 weeks, because after the training was all said and done, for the out processing and all the time we had to rest and prepare to our minds to get going for the next phase of training, if we had not become hold unders or holdovers for any set reasons, then that was just extra time to rest and exercise. Other than that, it was back to work. It was always back to work. It was just as far as memorizing the actual training itself, the part that am able to utilize, I had 0 to 4 weeks. And the thing is, they're looking for soldiers of a specific caliber. There's no point in continuing forward if I can't use maybe just say 0 to 4 weeks as a time frame to change anything around, because that's all it took for me to pass, and I could have done more, especially given the amount of time that I had to prepare for basic training. Had I, let's say, written down what I had done in those times and make sure that any extra losses of time were accounted for. Not saying that any time wasn't accounted for because I was in training. Of course, it's just that if I wanted to do myself more favors, maybe get an extra sip of water or fill up my canteen or something, just to make everything a little bit easier myself. Like, I could participate more in class, so that make sure that I'm doing my part and that everything goes well, instead of being put down in the front leaning rest position for 3 hours. Um, and okay, what are some things that I need to go over? Oh, there's gonna be different. I'm not exactly sure. Well, there's gonna be different things that we're learning or expected to be able to participate in during drill, or different facilitated exercises. And there's going to be more things that I need to do in my life that I need to add to my schedule. So I really need to start considering that time frame and those time frames for those other set things, and anything else that may be coming up, so that way I can better take care of myself, because again, all I really had was those 4 weeks. So I don't care what's going on or what it takes. I mean, there's plenty of different ways to get income. And as far as actually being the consumer, which is apparently important in the government, I need to understand the difference of everything. I just need to do everything that I can and make sure that I stay on the right side of the fence, because apparently this has to. I don't even know what ISIS is. Uh, I just know that I try to do my best to take care of myself, and then all of a sudden, boom, out of nowhere with current events, these terrorists come out of nowhere, and then on top of that, it's just like, okay, well, I'm the only person at my home, and if I wanted to set up anything to help myself out with understanding national security, other than just the fact that I'm doing my job altogether, I really need to make the time and effort to do these things because I mean, money is not that difficult to come by. I don't understand why anyone would do a crime. I've seen the other side of the rainbow with how much income the military pays altogether. I don't even see any point in stressing over anything. You get $20,000 for a re-up, and it only takes 2 years for a re-up. I don't understand why anyone would ever. I just, if anyone's talking about, sometimes they say that us guys that want to stay in the military for a long time are the ones that's going to have a hard time making it. But my thing is that, like I said, it's the 4 week time frame. Was That's all I had time, all the time I had going in. So if that's how what it take for me to go in and do my best coming out, then I should be fine. As far as there's no real reason why I can't do anything except for the fact that exactly I don't exactly understand how the world works out here, and um I don't understand that. So I mean, maybe because the fact that I didn't go active duty and I didn't understand exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, what the what exactly I'm supposed to be doing now as a civilian. But I do know that because I depend on every little bit of change that I can get, I need to start making sure that I do have some sort of income and everything, because I need to make more sense out of this, because it wouldn't really add up for someone who knows what it's like to be successful, to not be able to take advantage of everything that's going on around them. None of that makes sense. Uh, and as far as being prepared, I have to just continue to make sure that I at least have some sort of income, especially in these times of investment, which apparently you can teach yourself how to do all of this stuff, despite the fact that you go to school just to get a piece of paper to let you know that you're qualified and everything. So, I mean, because it's so simple to invest a little bit of money in yourself, I'm going to see what I can do and learn about that, because I have way too much skill altogether to not be able to make a huge difference. And I don't care about some stupid end of the world thing where it's really not that hard to take care of yourself, unless for some reason maybe you're not talking to someone about financial aid or something like that. All you really got to do is just talk to somebody that knows how to do these things, instead of choosing to do the wrong thing, which I don't know why anyone wouldn't do that. It's just all about being proud and being happy, and understanding where you come from, because this is America. And I do need to really organize and make everything look in a way that it did when I was in training. So I'm going to have to most likely continue resting at the same time, but keep myself stretched, because it seems that muscle tightness is the reason why my legs hurt when I don't move around very much. And that'll help me out, because then if I move around, I can help maintain my diet. Perhaps I'm not exactly sure what they put in the food in the military, but whatever it is, it keeps the mind clear and everything, and I don't have to worry about whatever's going on. I don't have any distractions in training or anything like that. I'm just in a peaceful environment altogether. And so I mean, as far as releasing any chemicals in the body, any hormones, testosterone, whatever is going to take, whatever I was trying to do before I accidentally, got into anything that hindered me somehow, I'm gonna have to release all that stamina and that strength to its full potential. That way, I can continue going on forward, because I don't exactly still understand what's going on out here in this civilian world, because I'm not necessarily established. But I mean, like, even though there's nothing out here for me, God willing, I can still make nothing out of something and follow in His word, because that's what this is all about, and make that happen, and can make my career happen, and do the best on my own behalf so that I can help others despite anything, because if the reality is that it really is as simple as it is when I train, then everything else that's going on out here, I don't that doesn't have to bother me. Whether I just be happy about the good things and just forget about any negativity and reflect on the good things in the past and continue moving on forward and taking care of myself, because it seems like there's something I need to understand about the covenant. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with taxes and altogether, but apparently it's really easy to get in trouble for doing the wrong thing by maybe, I don't know, let's say talking out of turn. I'm not exactly how sure, but then again, it goes back to the fact that I could have done a lot more. I would say a little bit more. I could have done a little bit more, but given that I didn't know all these things and I don't understand people very well, I mean, I can always improve, especially in a lot more in a military or any kind of environment, really, especially if I continue to take care of myself. And if I can make something out of nothing on my own and use that to my benefit, with not holding back or not no holds barred match with the fact that it's me and myself taking on the world, and I will be good, because I need to. I mean, time's passing by, and there's the quarters, there's the and the military quarters, I believe, they are different than uh as working as a civilian. And it gives me, depending on where I'm at and where I'm and who I'm working with, it gives me an extra leg up on the competition. I would say we're on the curve, but I don't like to think of it that way. I like to think of it more like a beeline straight to finish. Although success is filled with many bumps and curves, but there is gonna be a plan. I need plans, because the truth is, I feel like we're always successful. We're just gonna make sure we're staying on the path. That's how I feel, and I support the greatness of others because others support the greatness of me. And and the military quarters, and there's the entire fiscal year, and there's plans beyond that, and there's always room for advancement and seeking out other jobs on the way, and just doing the best that I can for myself, especially with the blessings that the Lord has bestowed upon me, and anything else that I may have missed or left undone. And I mean, I think that's good enough for now. I'm gonna try and do the best to take care of myself. Drink some water, stretch my legs out. Uh, Stretch my legs out so that way, when I have peaceful time to myself, I can be able to pray the prayers that I need to and keep myself from getting so easily bored and distracted. And maybe watch my YouTube videos about military stuff, whatever it is that I care about. Uh, Check my ribbon rack and everything. Trying to get distracted. Put together anything that the Lord would have me to understand what that is, what it is He needs me to do, um, for the glory of His kingdom, and just make sure that I, even down to the washing of my own clothes and being able to take care of my own self, and just having a good day. Just gonna do best to take care of myself, and then everything's gonna be okay. Take care of myself like a lower level enlisted, or that is getting ready to be higher level, and just being a good person, just being the best me.